Hey everyone, Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, 3-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils, and you're listening to the Uncle Puckers New Jersey Devils podcast with Chris, Dan, Bobby, and Tony, the Uncle Puckers. Let's go Devils!
Oh God, no!
That was rough. That was rough. Welcome to the Uncle Puckers, Chris, Dan, Bobby, and Tony. We just finished up watching the Rangers beat the Devils 5-3. First matchup this year between the two. We're going to get into that. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff for tonight, but just, go around here and thoughts about the game. We'll start with you, Bobby. Go ahead.
Yeah, so actually I don't have thoughts on the full way the game was played because I forgot that I had a 50th birthday party to go to. I was keeping tabs on the score before I started to watch it in the third period. From what I gather, it looked like it was a game that they maybe didn't deserve to lose till the end. They played well, right? They played even. I saw the goal that gave the Rangers the lead, and of course we seemed to pull the goalie a little too early most of the times. But I didn't get a real feel for the game, so I have to defer to you guys on that. It just seemed like from the far, watching the clips as they were happening, that they were very competitive and holding their own with them.
Well, I do want to just what you just said about pulling the goalie a little early. Like, we do tend to do that, right? Like, back in the day, it used to be about a minute. If you even pulled your goalie at like a minute and a half, you were a little bit nervous. But Lindy has no problem pulling our goaltenders at 2.5, 3 minutes. He's done it with 5 minutes left last year against the Islanders. Yeah. But yeah, that could have been a little bit of a kiss of death tonight.
I think you need to realize more about the moment. I mean, the Devils were really pressing right before that. So they were doing really well already those last couple of shifts. So maybe in that instance, you hold it for the last minute. Whereas if they have nothing, in a different game, maybe then you do the 2.5 minute thing. It just seemed like they were really pushing for that goal anyway. And then, once they put the empty netter in, forget it.
So your advice to Lindy is read the room.
Yes.
All right.
Read the room.
I think that is something that's more common now, though, is that I see every team now, they pull the goalie so early. It's all around the league. I mean, it's been for the last few years.
Yeah,
I've noticed
it has trended that way, but not many teams have the offense that we have that we can rely on, maybe getting that last-minute goal.
And
well, that's because we have a puck possession team. Now, I didn't think we played with super dominant puck possession. We were competitive tonight. But, when we're playing the way we can, it actually makes sense to pull them that early because in a pressure situation like that, we're going to have the puck more often than not. Today, not so much. It was a little back and forth. So, yeah, in this game, maybe pulling the goalie this early is not the best call, but I can see why it's a go-to move for this kind of team.
Well, Dan, what's your takeaways from tonight?
Well, you got a lot of excuses, but you also have some things to learn. Like the excuses, I don't think are enough to justify losing this game. It is tough when you have your bench shortened, your forwards, you're already playing with 11, you got to go down to 10. And that it means that as the game goes on, there's going to be more wear on those guys. It's just the way it is. People are playing out of position. Yeah, you can rotate into defensemen, but it doesn't help the forwards much. And, so there's a built-in excuse about why they didn't go the distance, but I don't think it's a good enough excuse. I think that, you're down to a couple minutes left. You could have played tighter defense. If you're going to look at the whole game, a lot of mistakes on our part, which is good news because that's the Rangers' best game. Maybe some Ranger fans will say, well, it wasn't Shesterkin's best game. And that's a fair point. Those first two goals, they were kind of gifts. The second goal, not so much. It was a great shot, but I think that Shesterkin stops that more times than not. The first goal, I mean, he's going to tell you that's a bad goal himself. But, so even though you have that in play, I still think the Devils were more than competitive, and they showed that when they're, full and playing their game, they are going to definitely dominate the Rangers. So I'm not worried as a Devil fan, but it's concerning to see them, not be able to come together. It was a golden opportunity to take a 3-2, which was the score I called. So, I'm pissed to take a 3-2 win by just not playing good defense to close out the game and being a little sloppy. And it came back and bit them at the wrong time. So, there was a lot of other thoughts on the game, but that's what my major impressions are.
Tone?
This was a game that we could have won. We should have won. I felt like a lot of mistakes, like Dan said, and definitely the first 2 goals. I think you could kind of call them gifts when you're dealing with Shesterkin. Again, a big problem was we were getting smacked around. Obviously, Truba, Trocheck also. I don't know. I see we really got to figure that out, man, because we're going to see more and more injuries. Jack Hughes, though, did come out, looked awesome tonight, right off he hadn't missed a step. I mean, the guy, when scored in the first right away, he could have scored a couple other goals this game. Holtz, I thought Holtz wasn't bad. I mean, glad to see him come back. I thought he might not came back in that game. But huge saves by Vanacek tonight. There was a lot of huge saves by Vanacek. I have to give him credit. Yeah. It's just, it's disappointing, and Jimmy Vesey, I've always said, and I think me and Chris have both agreed with him. I like Jimmy Vesey as a player when he was with the Devils, and tonight he came back to bite us in the ass. I thought he had a good game for as much as I hate the Rangers. He's an opportunist. The guy, like Danico said it too, the guy takes advantage of his opportunities. He's done that with every team he's played with. He came to hurt us tonight, but man, it was just really disappointing tonight, I have to be honest.
I mean, I do like Vesey, but my biggest takeaway is first off is that this team is dramatically different when Jack Hughes is in this lineup. It is night and day when this dude is in the lineup. So whatever we have to do to make sure that he, never misses a game again, we need to do it. Secondly, I'm done with Brendan Smith. I'm tired. I mean, if you look at the Vesey goal, he's tie his stick up, get him out of the crease. You have to do that. You cannot let him. And Marino did it to Vesey on his second goal. These two dudes, and Marino I have a lot more tolerance for because we know his ceiling is very high. And I think he played a pretty good game outside of that one, that second goal that Vesey scored. But the first one that he scored, and then, I mean, I think that Smith was even benched for a lot of that first period after he let that goal in, that he didn't tie up the stick. But there's just Colin Miller again showed that he can play in this team, on this team, that he is definitely better than Brendan Smith and should be getting most of the ice time. And the physicality is very concerning. These guys, we lost Nosek. That might be for a while. And the guy just got his ass back in the lineup, and now we lose him. McLeod got banged up a lot. Holtz got banged up a lot. Where is our answer to this? There was none. And to, kick us while we're down, we lose the game. And we don't even pull a point out. It was frustrating. You had it tied, 2.5 minutes left or whatever it was, 3 minutes that they score. But you should have pulled out at least a point. And they didn't. On the plus side, I don't know if this is a plus actually, because it kind of makes me a little worried. We played our game. The Rangers did not force us into a defensive, sloppy game. We were able to, but they beat us. So, I know we have injuries, we have guys out, but we should have won that game. You should have at least gotten a point out of that game.
We need better defense. We definitely just need better defense throughout a game. I do think the pacing was our style of game. Mm-hmm. It's just that on those individual plays defensively, we can't make those kind of mistakes. As you mentioned, letting players have that much real estate in title on our goaltender is always going to result in goals. It's going to happen. You didn't see too many opportunities for us that way. And that showed you, that those were glaring mistakes on our end defensively. But, pacing wise, I mean, we got some great chances. We're still down, Timo Meyer, and we still don't have full output from all our guys yet. So I think that, looking at this game and then looking at it again in April, it's going to be night and day. It really should be, as long as the Devils get their game together. And let's face it, I think the Rangers have reached peak form right now. So the best you can hope for as a Ranger fan is that they keep this going, or if they lose it a little bit, they get back into it in April. You don't feel, looking at the Rangers, that they have another gear left to go into. They absolutely don't. Can't say that about the Devils. Devils are playing better than the last few losses, but you and I both know they got another gear or two to put in their game. So, not all that devastated over the loss. It was, like you said, should have come through, should have won. I hope it stings him a little bit because you shouldn't let these points get away. It's going to hurt later on. And, but I think the opportunity is still, in our favor going forward.
Yeah,
let's
put
beat,
it in
let's
the rear
beat
view.
a dead horse there really fast, though. But, look at the playoffs. If we go – this is what I saw tonight right away is this is – playing a team with physicality like this, we're not going to make it through a series. I mean, tonight was, I was worried. I actually have to be honest. I was a little worried tonight. I was like, wow, in the first period especially, we were getting hit, right? I was like,
oh, yeah.
In a 7-game series, we have no answer to this, and it's very concerning to me because
it has to be addressed. You're absolutely right.
It has to be addressed, and that's on Fitzgerald's part right there. I love Tom. Yeah, I mean,
well, I think it will be addressed. I totally think it will be addressed. I'm not confidence. Yeah, I do too. I'm not worried about thinking about playoffs now. I mean, right now it's just a matter of getting our game. No, I mean, right now the way we're playing, we might not even make the playoffs. We have to start playing a lot better. All around, and the physicality comes with it. And I do think that Tom Fitzgerald is not a stupid man. He knows exactly what is lacking on this team, and he'll do whatever he can to fix it. I thought Vitek, like you said, played a great game. I thought Jesper Bratt looked good. Jack was fantastic. It's just, certain guys just, I think, need to step up a little bit more. When McLeod went down, I got really nervous, and I was just thinking, now we lose him now, and we have nobody to center, this team. So, I mean, it looked better than it did previously. This team, the Pittsburgh game looked great. This game, I thought for 57 minutes, they looked good. They were, they were in it. But they got to put it in the rear view quick because Wednesday comes quick. You got a good Red Wing team you should be able to skate with. You should be able to beat. You have a team on Friday who is completely in complete disarray in Columbus. There's so much horrible shit going on down there.
And it's a day game. I love to watch day games, but I always think it throws the Devils off a little bit, so we'll see. I got to find out what their actual record is.
I mean, they really should whoop up on Columbus. And then you got a bit of a revenge game against Buffalo just because of what happened with Nico Hischier on that last game. They have to put it in the rear view. These are 3 winnable games coming up, and they got to get right in these next 3 games. And next time they face the Rangers, we're going to be at full health, and who knows what other changes are going to be made by that time. Team. When is it?
I said it'll be a different team. I didn't say
that. I agree. Yeah. So, it was disappointing, but I do think there's some good to take out of this. They're a fucking different team when Jack Hughes is on the ice. I mean,
Mercer looked better tonight, too, didn't he, a little bit? I mean, especially towards the second and third.
He was in it. Palat had a huge game. There was a lot of good takeaways.
Yeah. It comes down to our defense, and that's really what it comes down to.
February.
Again, Brendan Smith ties that stick up. VC doesn't score the first goal. It's a different game, or his first goal.
And Brad almost put that puck in the third, and I thought, man, it was so close. How must have been an inch not going to that net? I think it was late in the third period.
Yeah, they had their opportunities. There's no doubt about it. They definitely had their opportunities. But again,
it looks like February 22nd is the next time we play the Rangers, so we definitely have some time.
All right.
See you next year, fuckers.
Just, reminder to all our fans too, because again, there was a lot of blue shirts in there today, and that's disheartening still.
I wish there was an answer to all this.
Well, there is an answer, Dan.
What could we possibly do?
We could take over Madison Square Garbage.
What?
On March 11th. That's what we're trying to do. That's the message we're trying to send. We want to get as many Devils fans as possible into that arena. I want to see Madison Square Garden look like it's a Devils home game.
Right.
You got to get your tickets. Don't worry about where you're seating. Just get it. Just fill the whole place. Let's be loud. Let's turn this shit around on them. I'm tired of it. We were talking before. Sometimes people get rid of their tickets and more Ranger fans get to come in our building. Well, we could do the same thing over there. So let's do that. A lot of people are getting together for this. That's March 11th. Go to Madison Square Garbage. Let's knock their shit around.
All right.
A lot of cocky Ranger fans running around tonight.
Of course there
that.
That's all right.
That's all right.
It all boils down to where you end up in April. So, let's just wait till then. But it is Saturday, guys, which means it is the day we make our predictions, which means we also have our accountability from last week. And it wasn't terrible. Well, it was for me, but it wasn't terrible for you guys. So this was our predictions for the week of November 13th through today, which was the loss against the Jets tonight's game, of course, and our win on Thursday against the
Who's our
Penguins.
all-time leader in points right now?
Tony is winning, I believe, right now. Let's see.
Damn it! I thought it was me. I wouldn't have asked if I thought it was Tony.
No, it's Tony. So we'll start with
Tony's got to win all the games because he already wins the devil constantly.
Yeah,
Bobby's ahead
but
right now.
Bobby's got the lead
Oh,
right now.
that's
Season 2, we
Until
only did
tonight.
one, right?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
So, but we'll see here. So Tony's first prediction was that Alexander Holtz will have 2 points against the Winnipeg Jets. My first prediction was that the Devils will have a goal. Actually, I'll go through all Tony's first. Holla, he said, Eric Holla will have 4 points in the next 3 games, and Eric Holla had exactly 4 points
All right,
in
Bobby,
the
that's
last
pretty
3
good.
games. So that's
That's
1
Tony.
point for Tony. He said that Akira Schmid will beat the Rangers on Saturday. Maybe he would have, but he
Didn't
wasn't
lose to him.
playing.
Didn't
So-
lose to him.
Now we won't know.
And that goes
I
to show you
s-
how much confidence, right? In a way.
Yeah,
That's true. He didn't lose. That's a good point. He did not lose. So.
he didn't lose. I said my first prediction was that the Devils will have a goal differential of -5 or worse through the next 3 games.
You negative Nelly.
I was wrong. It was a -2. We were even going into tonight. So it was, again, tonight's game. We were in -2. I said that the Devils will suffer their first shutout loss in well over a year tonight against the Rangers. We got 3 by Shesterkin. So I was wrong. And to finish off mine, I said that by the end of the week, the national media will start hearing rumblings from them about the security of Lindy Ruff's job. That has not happened. I haven't heard anything about it.
Nope.
So I do
I think that
that's
Pittsburgh win stopped it. I think
Yes.
if we lost that game, you probably do hear it.
I agree.
You were close.
Bobby said that Alexander Holtz will be a healthy scratch during one of those 3 games. Made
Glad
it
to see he
into
wasn't.
he
Turn
made
it on
it
your
into the
boy,
lineup
Bobby. Turn it on your
all
boy.
3 games.
That was on rough.
Yeah.
Bobby said that Dawson Mercer would have a 3-point game during one of those 3 games. That didn't
Pulling for you,
happen.
buddy.
But he did say that Luke Hughes and John Marino will start together in a game. Oops, I hit the wrong button. That was correct. Sorry. You
Oh,
got that?
nice.
They started against
I think he just
Pittsburgh.
wanted to buzz me 3 times for fun.
You know, it was an accent. But it is fun.
It still counts as a point taken away.
Dan,
Shush, Dan.
you said that Nico Heischer will return.
Really?
Liar.
Unfortunately.
I
Liar.
have the tape back. I'm pretty sure.
You
Did
said that Colin Miller will debut in this lineup this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Point.
That is a
Big
point. And you said the Devils will win against the Rangers by 2 or more goals.
Did I? I thought I called 3-2.
Well, that's what
Well-
you said the last show that you picked a score.
I don't
So
remember what I predict. That's for sure. I'm glad
So
you wrote
that-
this down.
That puts Tony in the lead with 4 points through 3 weeks. Dan in second place with 3 points. I'm in third place with 2 points, and Bobby is on the board with 1.
Is the Lithuanian point worth as much as an American
Can't
point?
stop
It's actually worth more if you go by euros to dollar.
Oh my god, that's
Should be worth less.
no way. No way.
So
Guess I've got
now,
a time machine out there, I think.
now we do our predictions for this week's games, which is Detroit on Wednesday, the Columbus Blue Jackets on Friday, the Buffalo Sabres on Saturday. And we will start with Bobby, go around Bobby, Dan, Tony, and myself. This is the prediction part. Let's see how we do.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
All right, Bobby,
All right.
your first prediction.
First prediction is the Devils will have a third period goal in all 3 games.
They will score in the third
Hat trick, searching? Hat trick? Looking for a
in
hat trick?
all 3 games. Okay.
Is that a hat trick?
Is that a hat trick? I don't know about that. Does
Couple
it
amongst
score
yourselves.
1 goal in the third period of all the games?
No.
I don't-
Pretty
I don't
specific.
think
3 separate
so.
games?
Bobby's looking for sympathy points here.
Yeah,
I don't care. Just put it out there.
I would say no, but
Okay.
I mean that's me. But it's up to Dan and Tony. What do you guys think?
What do you think,
I,
Dan?
I'm just curious. I feel like it might be a tougher thing to hit calling at first period goals for the Devils 3 games in a row
Fair
because
enough. Right.
it seems like they do come through with third period goals a lot. So that's the only reason I don't
You're
want
not
to give it
supposed
to you.
to
But
notice
How about
you know,
if
I don't
Bobby
mind
can
giving it
pick
to you.
who scores them?
Oh my
Give
god!
him
Well,
the
that'd be
hat
like
trick
9
on
points.
this. No,
And
no.
please, exactly what time they're scored at.
Exactly.
Second.
I'll just take the 1 point. We can move on.
No, I mean I'm okay with giving you 3 on it. It's a close call. I'll give you 3.
I say
on it.
no. Dan says yes. Tony, you're the
You
decider.
tiebreaker, Tom.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say yes because my next prediction will. Go ahead. Yes. We'll give him to him if he gets it.
Really? You guys are giving him a hat trick?
Well, I'll tell you why.
It's the holiday season,
Well,
Chris.
Dan, you're up. Your first prediction, Dan.
The Devils will get at least 2 wins in this next stretch.
Devils will go
Someone pissing?
2 and
Yeah,
1
probably.
or better.
No, probably dishwasher. There it goes.
Okay. Tony, your first
Bob-
prediction.
Bobby will not get a point in the next round. Does that count? I mean, I think that's
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
that counts.
That's a prediction.
That's great.
Tony, Bobby
You
will
did.
go
Bobby, I love
pointless.
you. You know that, man.
I like
Love
it.
it. That's great.
All right, my first prediction. This, I think, is a hat trick. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Wrong.
Nico Hischier will return against the Buffalo Sabres, and he will have a multi-point game. That will be his revenge game after the Connor
That's a
Clifton
hat trick.
hit.
That's a hat trick.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
my first
That's
prediction.
very specific and highly unlikely. So,
All right, Bobby, your second prediction.
second prediction is one of Jack's line mates will get into a fight this week.
I doubt that.
I do too. Now, maybe it'd be better if you say one of Jack's line mates will get beaten up during one of the
Thrown
next 3
down while
games.
everyone
Basically, where I'm
ignores.
going is somebody's going to stick up for him and throw some hands. But
So are we just saying, like, you're saying a 5 for fighting, that somebody on that line will have a 5-minute fighting penalty? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
So not just a little scrum. It's got to be like an actual 5-minute.
well, yeah, I guess that is the way I'm phrasing. I really meant sticking up for Jack and like jumping on somebody, but if that's just a 2-minute interference, I guess it's not the same. So yeah, I'm saying a fight.
Okay. We'll get a 5-minute for fighting.
I originally had picked Lazar because I know he was started on the line with him, but I don't know what the lines are going to be next week. So I'll just
Yeah,
say
I mean,
somebody
they
on
were
the
double
line.
shifting Jack. They had him on, the line with Lazar, which I love what Lazar is doing on this team this year. I mean,
Me too.
he's really
Lazar looks
becoming
great.
that character guy that you need, scoring timely goals. I love his energy. I love everything about the dude. Dan, your second prediction.
Akira Schmid will get a win in the next 3 games.
Okay.
He's going to be playing. The games are almost back-to-backs with the holiday in there.
No,
And I
I'm
feel
almost,
that
I'm almost
he's
inclined
good.
to give you 6 points for that.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
All right,
Friday
I'll
and
take it.
Saturday is back to back, so they have Buffalo and Columbus, not in that order, but yeah, he'll definitely be getting a start. So, Tony, your second prediction.
Okay, my second prediction is that Holtz will get 2 goals in the next 3 games.
Holtz will get 2 goals.
2 goals
You
in the
got
next
it.
3 games.
All right. My second prediction is that Damon Severson will be benched at some point or scratched for the game against us on Friday. At some point, if he's in the lineup, he will be benched. It will be discussed. They will say, we haven't seen Damon Severson out on the ice. So Damon
If Babcock
Severson
was the
will
coach,
get benched.
I would say yes because.
Are you kidding me? Pascal Riom has benched everybody so far on
I
that
just can't
friggin'
picture
team.
him doing it against the Devils because it's a past team. I feel like there's going to be some kind of loyalty there.
Pascal Riom's a fucking buffoon, and what he's doing, and Jarmo Kakalainen is a fucking buffoon, and what they are doing to that team is really,
Buffoons,
really
a pack of
terrible.
fucking buffoons.
They really are. Johnny Gaudreau has fucking 1 goal this year. It was an empty netter. Like, it's bad over there. So I expect that to be a big time get right game for the Devils, but we'll see. So, Bobby, your third and final prediction.
My third one has to change on the fly because of one of Dan's. I was originally going to say they're going 3-0 this week, but Dan already said for a 1 point that they're going to get at least 2 wins. So why would I risk losing going for a full third win?
Gamesmanship.
So I'll go the Devils will get at least 5 of the next 6 points.
All right. Dan, your third and final prediction.
I think that we will see the Devils' first shutout of the season in this stretch.
That they will get a shutout or be shut out?
No, they will get a shutout.
They will get a shutout.
Am I wrong? They haven't had a shutout yet.
No, they haven't.
I'm trying to think how many one-goal games they had. It was just a couple.
None, I don't think.
Really? They've never let in less than 2 goals so far this year?
Don't
Wow.
think so.
Wow.
I'll check. Tony, your third and final
amazing.
prediction?
Luke Hughes will have a point in each of the next 3 games. I'm going to go.
That
Yeah,
I would
that's a
say
hat
is a
trick,
hat
right?
trick.
I mean, that's a
yes,
hat trick.
I mean, do you guys agree? I think that's a hat trick.
Yeah, I think we had a similar one that was. So yeah.
And it's at
So
least a
Luke
point.
Hughes-
It's not
At
exactly
least a
1
point. At least
Okay,
a point.
now
And for clarity, I said at least 5 points, right? At
Yes.
least 506. Okay.
yes.
So you
Now,
said
but
these-
you're being very specific. You're saying at least 1 or more in every game. So, like, if he has 3 points against Detroit and doesn't get on the board for the
Has
other
to
2,
have
you
one
lose.
each game. Has
You
to
have
one
to
each
have,
game.
yeah,
minimum of
that's
1 in
definitely
each
a
game.
hat
There
trick.
has to be a point each game.
point or more.
3
Yeah,
3
Don't
points
send
or
yourself
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've basically
In
said, right?
each
Anytime you're picking 3 outcomes in 3 different games, it kind of automatically puts you in hat trick territory.
Right. And my third and final prediction, I always go a little negative just because. So I'm going to say, and you guys tell me if this is a hat trick too, neither goalie will finish the game on Wednesday night against Detroit. Whoever starts for us and whoever starts for them, both
Has to be a
goalies
hat trick. That's a pretty
will not finish the game.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
bold one. It's a pretty rare one.
Yeah,
I'll
not
give you
only
3 for that
yeah,
one.
they're playing a little
Okay.
better. I'll give you 3 for that, sure.
All right. Well, those are our predictions. So that we'll wait and see. Hopefully, we can get these next 3 games under our belts and win them because we
Yes.
freaking need it. We really need it.
Yep.
Did you guys
you
see
know
that?
what else?
You guys might have talked about this, but did you guys see that the Hurricanes are going to wear the Whaler outfits when we play them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Isn't that cool?
love the whale.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
they're
is
wearing the. That was really cool.
I mean, that's
I
just an
hate
awesome.
the Hurricanes, but you got to respect the whale.
exactly.
Absolutely. It really is a fantastic logo. I love everything about that. And we're not doing the retro reverse anymore.
I haven't seen anything.
Was that
for
just
it.
last year?
Are we doing a
No,
stadium
I
jersey?
haven't
Even I
seen it.
haven't seen. I mean, I've seen like
Yeah, there'll be a
suggestions,
stadium
but I mean, I haven't
Yeah,
seen
there'll
shit come
definitely
out
be a
yet.
stadium jersey.
You figure they have to put it out soon because holidays are coming. They want to sell that stuff.
During the
so-
broadcast, I saw that black with the red lettering on one of the shots as they went to commercial, and I was wondering where that shot was from.
I really
I don't know
hope
if you guys
that's the one
noticed
they
that.
wind up doing. That one we talked about.
Yeah,
couple
it was,
months ago,
it was
like-
basically like the jersey, with stripes and everything, but black with the red instead of
Yeah.
black with.
And
Just
they
the
showed
red
that
NJ,
during the
no
game?
circle, no anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
same
didn't know
color
they
scheme
showed
that the
that.
Utica went with last year. They had a really cool jersey last year, which was
Maybe-
like the dark red and the black, but it just was really sharp looking.
Some good games on tonight. Colorado's playing Dallas tonight. That'll be
Tampa
good.
Bay won too. They
Yeah.
had a game.
Flyers beat Vegas.
They did, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Dallas
You know,
is. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was going to say, speaking of the stadium series, we did get an email recently. I don't know if you guys
did.
Yeah, this is actually going back a couple shows. I really wanted to get it in, but it was just tough to at the time. From our buddy Garrett, who's asked us questions before, he said that with last week's announcement, it's probably about 2 weeks old now, about the stadium series. It seems like the state of New Jersey will kind of be the star of the show. Any thoughts on special jerseys for the game? What are your picks for a musical act to perform at the concert? Fitz has said it's not just a game; it's an event. Any thoughts on special walkout / warm-up stuff that could be fun for the fans? Maybe our mascot will parachute in before puck drop. LOL. That was just an LOL. He's just joking.
Red
He's
Dawn
the best
style.
fellow.
Takes
Let's go.
months to
So,
learn that.
I am curious. It is a very good question. This is coming up. When is our exact date for the stadium series, guys?
It's February. I don't know exactly.
15th, maybe. I gotta see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Bobby's
coming up.
checking.
Yeah, mid-February, and it's definitely going to be one of the biggest things that we've been involved with during regular season. I mean, am I wrong? This looks like
No,
a big
17th.
this is
Saturday the
the
17th.
17th. It's a big deal.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a big deal. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be freezing ass cold. There's going to be 85,000 crazy Devil / Flyer fans there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're thinking that we're going to go with that black red as a stadium series kind of jersey?
hope
Is that
so.
what your front runner jersey pick is right now, guys, or are you seeing something else?
I haven't seen anything else. That's the only one that keeps popping up as like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a unique
Prototype?
jersey.
Yeah, like a concept one. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the only one I've seen. And you said they showed it actually during the broadcast of tonight's game. So
It was like one of those fade shots in between.
Yeah.
It was somewhere in the second period. I'd love to go back and see it.
The
I did not
logo in
record.
general, with just the NJ without the circle around it, is becoming trendy now with the Devils. It's on the shop. I just ordered a hoodie. Like it's cool. It's still the logo, which is awesome. It's slightly different.
Yeah.
So there is some momentum going for it. I just feel like hopefully that's going to be it with all that jet black. It just looks sweet.
Yeah.
Now, what would you do for a musical act?
Right. Yeah, that's a tough question. So
Because I don't know if we're gonna get Bruce Springsteen.
Overkill. Remote
yeah,
February
I mean,
outside.
Bruce does so many big things. I don't know if I want a Bruce Springsteen. I
gonna
can
be
see
Bon
why a lot of
fucking
fans
Jovi.
would.
He's probably a
Dude,
rave
Dude, I'd go
fan.
big.
Bonds,
I'd go
Bonds
Metallica.
over, yeah.
Let's go big.
Overkill.
Make it a concert.
Well, I was thinking somebody from Jersey, like at least like Overkill, or I don't
Skid
think
Row.
they'd be playing. Yeah, let's do Skid Row.
Maybe
Bon
they need to
Jovi.
work.
How much points do I get if Overkill plays? Is that that's got to be a hat trick right
That
there?
would
was a
just
hat
make you
trick.
the
That's
automatic
definitely a hat
winner if Overkill plays the intermission, the
Nervous
whatever.
plays, then definitely.
If any
I mean,
band
who
actually
else-
really plays, would be cool.
So I mean, like, I don't know what they can do to if they're gonna like jersey it all up. I don't know if they would do that.
Right.
If they're gonna do anything, it has to be our game. Even though there's two New York teams, of course, playing there the next day,
Right.
which annoys the shit out of me. Stay in New York. Why do you have to use our arena? Same with those scumbag Jets and scumbag Giants.
Yep.
Either change your name or stay
Leave
up in
them
New
both.
York.
Yep.
Exactly.
And
Felt that
fuck
way
Aaron
forever.
Rodgers. I can't stand him. I'm sorry.
Raiders
He
beat
just-
them both in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see how you guys do against Miami.
it's gonna be
That's
tough.
going to be a tough one. But is there anything else that you want
Is
to
it like
add to that?
pregame
There?
activities or something? Right?
Well, we did get another email, guys, and
Oh.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to this. This is from our buddy Hunter. This was a direct message from
Coon
Hunter.
Hunter?
He says Hunter D. Let's call him. I wonder what nutrition double steams jerseys
What?
gonna be. I'm sorry, I'm just reading these as they come. I wonder what nutrition double steams jerseys gonna be when it comes. Period. I'm hoping you'll be either blue like their retro jersey from last year, where we're black with red stripping the top and bottom. Now, I totally agree with this sentiment, and I want to know what you guys think of that.
It's not gonna
doomed bastards.
It's not gonna be blue. It's gonna be
Hunter, are we
all
it's
speaking
really
Hunter right now?
it's really hard to answer your questions when they don't make much sense.
Wait, he did have a follow-up email, and maybe I should
Nutrition
read this.
steam? What?
Yeah, no, I can go back over, but he did have hopefully this
Oh.
clarifies it. He
Okay.
says, next message, because they wore their Christmas colors over the years quite a bit. So
He means the green and red, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
It was more for the outdoor game
as
too.
which I
opposed to
love the
that,
green and red.
he wants something. He's hoping it's got blue in it, like their retro. He likes, I guess, the blue, yellow, red.
Right.
A little Kansas City
retro.
Scouts stuff
The
too.
Burger
Yeah,
King
yeah.
colors.
I speak Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder what nutrition double steams jerseys. This one eludes me. I wonder what nutrition double steams jerseys. If you were a bad text or
It
speech
was a
to text,
voice text, man.
Right. What do I
what
think
is he
he's trying?
to say? I love
Yeah.
playing this game with my family. Like, what the hell is this supposed to mean, Mom?
How many points do we get for
Nutrition
this?
steamed. I don't.
Nutrition double
Nutrition-
steam jerseys.
Natural double stem.
Stadium
I don't know.
series.
I'm
I think
just-
that is stadium series and a voice text. Something to do with
Okay,
stadium.
all right.
series.
Okay.
Okay. I
That's
think
what
we're.
I'm saying.
Pretty. I think that's a good bet. I love
mean-
deciphering texts. Hunter, keep them coming. Let us know what you think. I tend to agree with whatever it is you just sent us. Thank you very much.
I
And it
I
is-
think if
it
he
is pretty
is trying to talk about maybe having a callback to some of our two previous franchises, with the color schemes and stuff. For me personally, I think this should just be more about the New Jersey Devils as they are today, and there's other ways to kind of pay homage to those, to the history than this particular
Right.
game. But if you come up with a cool enough design, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions?
Well, those are the two pressing ones I had to get.
No, Garrett sent us another one, didn't he? Dan, I think you muted yourself, buddy.
I might have done that. I'm dealing with a flood apparently upstairs. So, let's see. Garrett, he did send us something else, but it wasn't really a question. He just said he likes throwing curveballs at us.
The Soprano one.
I got you. Yeah, there is that one. Thank you. It's hard to read email. But here it is. Here's another dumb question for you. Again, from our boy Garrett. He gives us the best questions. Garrett
called it dumb, not us.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, that was not editorializing. This is Garrett's email verbatim. Here it goes. Here's another dumb question for you, inspired by our conversation about Scorsese movies. Personally, he believes Casino and Gangs of New York tie it. I've long thought the Devils should embrace The Sopranos as part of the team identity, showing clips from The Sopranos live at games or posting Sopranos meme on their official channel. One, do you guys agree, and how would you incorporate the Sopranos themed stuff at the Prudential Center? Maybe you guys can whip up a couple, visual, memes or something to post on our stuff for Sopranos. Or two, do you have any other thoughts on how the Devils can better embrace other aspects of New Jersey culture? Garrett goes on to say, I, for one, am excited about the Jetty merch collaboration, hoping for a pork roll, egg and cheese stand at the Rock soon. So,
okay, I can definitely get behind a pork roll, egg and cheese stand at the Rock. That's fantastic. I also didn't know about the Jetty collaboration. I don't know what they're doing with Jetty.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Now, didn't they used to have like on the Jumbotron, the thing of like the mascot driving and it being like the exact same beginning of The Sopranos? Didn't they used to do something like that? And they played the song and stuff, and they would play it like in between the commercial breaks and stuff.
They had to stop doing that. That song was everywhere across the country. It got to be too much but maybe it's time to bring it back.
It's probably not safe to have the mascot driving, not with that head on, That's probably not safe. But I think there's a little bit cooler New Jersey things than The Sopranos. I was not a fan of the show, I have to say. I'm probably one of the very few, but our name in general is
I've never
awesome.
seen it.
Yeah, you don't. It's not.
I've never seen The Sopranos. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't like it.
Pretty critically acclaimed, but just not too long ago, we went back to try to watch it, and I don't know if I can get into ever watching it again. I did watch it at the time. I thought there were some inventive things about it. Overall, some good acting, but it got to be a bit much. Sure.
I think most shows, any show, right? You got the good idea, and then the longer they keep it on, the more it trails off, and you even wind up watching it. Like, why am I really watching this? It's nowhere near the entertainment value that it used to be. For me personally, I did think they were interesting, but it just dropped off way faster than some other shows, like a season or two. And I got it. Like, it didn't really.
Jersey-based shows or stuff that you can actually incorporate into
Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah. 37 Dick shirts. If you had a 37 Dick shirt with Devil's logo, hey.
I always wonder if Kevin Smith didn't Penguin Jersey himself out of a nice relationship with the Devils, because
he's a huge.
When you watch Clerks, he was, but he always put his character Silent Bob in a Penguins jersey. Am I wrong? Doesn't he wear that in Clerks movies?
Clerks had the other guy who had on the rooftop. Remember, there was the rooftop. Yeah. So I think Dante had it. Did Dante have the Penguins jersey?
Dante was the Devils fan.
In Clerks 3, I think Jason Mewes wears a Devils jersey. And Randall always has a Devils hat on.
Yeah.
He always has that.
Randall had a
devil
jersey
hat on.
too, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, he wore one too. I think
he was
that
the
was
one on the roof with
on the rooftop.
And Scott Mosier had a Devils jersey on too. Remember the Gatorade with the hockey stick to the head?
Yep. Yeah, so he definitely. So yeah, maybe something with Kevin Smith. I don't know. I mean, trying to think, that might be kind of cool. Maybe have like the cast of Clerks do some kind of cool little skit or something that you can play on the Jumbotron. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. And Garrett, I just have to say, if you haven't seen Mean Streets, watch that, and then come back and say if Casino and Gangs of New York are your two favorite Scorsese movies. That's all.
I did see the new one. I finally did catch that.
Oh, you saw the one?
Yeah.
How was it?
Better than I was worried. I was worried it was going to be not so great. In the end, I got some problems with it, but I overall thought it was a good movie.
Okay. What's up, Tom?
I have a question. Is there a show, for me, it's going to be Sopranos. Is there a show that you've heard that you have to see? We're all getting older now. I mean, the show that you just never watched that everyone's always telling you have to see. Like, I started watching The Office 2 years ago. I do love it, but for the longest time, I wouldn't watch it. Is there a show that you guys have heard about individually that they just never watched, that everyone tells you have to watch, and everyone
The Wire.
And
The Wire's a big one.
I did see The Wire.
Everybody said it was great, but I never got around to it.
Season 1 was very good. I really didn't care for any other seasons. I thought season 2 was terrible. Season 3 was all right, but season 1 was really good. So I like The Wire. Trying to think of shows that had a bunch of hype that I wanted to watch.
Game of Thrones? You never saw that stuff.
Never
right?
saw that either.
Well, I haven't seen the new one, The House of Dragon.
Yeah, I think a lot of people haven't seen that yet. I did see that. I thought it was all right. Whatever.
I can't think of one that I didn't watch at all, but a lot of major hype shows that I at least gave it a chance. I totally disagree with. Like Lost was one I never got.
Could not watch it,
especially towards the end. It got so ridiculously stupid. And I tried like Breaking Bad. I tried it for a good season or two and just dropped off.
You're crazy.
I did like Breaking Bad.
Listen, I liked it. I just couldn't get into it.
Breaking Bad was amazing.
I think a lot of people do say I don't know if it's like maybe you saw 2 seasons and that's enough for you to say no. But I think a lot of people say you got to watch just either the second or third season before it really gets you. You know, and you look back on
being sick apparently later on in the seasons, and just the first 2 was just so filled with that. I don't know, it just didn't strike me right.
Though, Rob. It really does. You might
fantastic.
I don't know.
And Better Call Saul is awesome.
Better Call Saul, I loved. I
liked
in some ways more than Breaking Bad. In some
Same
ways
here.
Not. Yeah.
See, I like Breaking Bad. I never saw Saul. I saw all the Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Odenkirk's just great. He's a great actor.
The Walking Dead was disappointing to me because when that first started, everyone loved it. I liked it for the first couple of seasons. It got so boring by season 3. I was done. I think they did 8 of those. It was just
we checked out after a few seasons of Walking Dead. We really couldn't get.
I gotta ask. I know we don't want to stay on this topic too long, but I've been waiting to ask. Have anybody seen The Boys?
Oh my God, it's one of my favorite shows.
Okay, on Amazon, so you already know about it.
It is fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite shows.
So this show is ridiculously different, right, Chris? So it's basically, just to sum it up, it's basically superheroes and the personas that you commonly know. There's basically a Superman type guy, a Wonder Woman type guy, a Flash, a Aquaman type guy. Right. In the beginning, you don't really know exactly what's happening, but basically they're owned by a corporation. So these guys are paid. They're anything that they sell, that's what they get their money, if it's on lunchboxes and all that. And as it turns out, basically they're not good people. They're
it's
evil.
Basically, how would you feel living in a world where there were superheroes, but they were complete and total unscrupulous bastards?
We would have to kill them. I would be on the side of
that's where the boys come in, because that's what they are planning on doing, and it's super graphic.
It shows what it would be like if you did have a person like the Flash running around, and I'll just say, let's say the Flash loses control and hits you. Think about what that might do to the person.
So
they show that
just to give away
the superpowers and how dangerous they'd be, right?
The first scene of the first episode, and I'll give this away, right?
Yeah,
so the main character Dewey, who's awesome and always has cool band T-shirts on, and he's a huge Billy Joel fan. Him and his girlfriend are walking down the street and they're holding hands, and she's walking. He's on the sidewalk and on the curb, and she's just stepped down onto the street, and all
one
of a
foot
sudden,
onto the pavement.
Yeah, you just see this fly by. And then Dewey's just standing there holding her hands because her whole body, she got ripped off of her body. So that's where the whole thing starts. And it's just graphic and it's fucking great. And there's actually another show, a spinoff of it that's on Prime now. I think it's called the V Academy or something. I just saw that and I wanted to start watching it. But if you guys haven't checked out The Boys, it's so freaking good. It is
fun. If you really want to talk about taking something and turning it upside down and being very inventive, this is definitely it. But it can be graphic. There are scenes where holy shit. If these guys really did have these powers and did these things, man, it does kind of fuck with you.
Did you watch both seasons?
No, I'm only 5 episodes in. I'm oh my God,
wow.
This is
so
insane.
you didn't even get to the babies yet? The baby scene?
I think we just got through the the airplane.
Okay, so you don't. Okay, the airplane scene, that's pretty fucking nasty. But you never. So you don't know how they're superheroes yet. You don't know any.
No,
of that.
I do not know that. I'm starting to understand what's happening, but I haven't got confirmation.
Wait until you get to the episode with the babies.
All right, cool.
That's just it was one of the coolest scenes of any show I've ever seen. So yeah, you got to check that out. You know what else?
They had that fucking Thanksgiving movie that just came out too, really fast. That Eli Roth just put out.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
It is pretty brutal, but man, definitely worth checking out. So,
You know what else is definitely worth checking out?
is
Betting on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I'm just saying
Nice.
it's the way to go. And just looking over some hockey lines for the next couple of days, I like the Toronto Maple Leafs getting a goal and a half tomorrow against the Minnesota Wild. I think that's a pretty decent bet. I also like the Flyers getting a goal and a half over the Columbus Shit Jackets. And do you guys know how Columbus got their name, the Blue Jackets? I'm not going to
a
go
B.
anyway.
It's not a B.
But download the app now and use code THPN. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 in hockey. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available. For problem gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dknj.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023. All rights reserved.
Hockey League.
Hockey League.
I was like a Christopher Walken read a little
I
bit.
know that you
Hockey
don't
League.
specifically condone any particular type of gambling, but when you are mentioning your bets that you would take, I just want to know you've had a really good track record, especially when it was just
yeah.
football.
We all
Like
get
you were
the
nailing that every week.
emails. I get the emails, and you're making money on this. This is awesome. I'm
I
very happy for
actually,
you.
I put a bet in. I was on I don't bet a lot. Like I'll bet $5 here or there. And on Sunday, I threw my buddy was actually on my phone at work, and he's like, he was looking at the stuff on DraftKings. He's like, you got a $5 free bet. You should use it. So I was like, oh, I didn't see that. So I did some silly bet. I bet in the Detroit Charger game last week. I bet that Jahmyr Gibbs would score the first touchdown, and that Keenan Allen for the Chargers would score the last touchdown. And Jamar Gibbs scored the first, and later on, the fourth quarter, they're down by 7, and Keenan Allen breaks off late in the fourth, scores the last touchdown. I won
That's a nice hit. What kind of
$350
On a
Yeah,
$5
that's awesome.
bet.
off a
Now,
$5 bet.
I knew
$5
about
free
that
bet,
because
too.
it's on the Pucker email, and as such, it's a Pucker win, I think. And
Yes,
we'll be happy to get 25% each of that.
no problem.
No,
Also
that's
have
a
all
great
my
bet, man.
losses in there too.
Oh, wait,
no,
we
we're
don't
not
get
gonna
those.
cover that. We can't cover that.
So yeah, but
Have my $10 from the show to cover your losses.
well, because I need that $300 for the holidays because they're just so hectic, and I have
know what,
no
dude?
idea what to get anybody.
I wish you hadn't brought up the holidays. I really wish you hadn't brought it up.
I'm sorry.
Because I got the winter blues, and it's bringing me down because I'm just thinking about all the carnage that's going to happen on Black Friday. All right,
Yeah.
Black Friday's next week. It's a week from yesterday. It's 6 more days, guys.
Crazy.
And on that day, American consumerism was going to reach this fever pitch, and there'll be a sea of blood. Or you could log on to raycon.com /THPN and get 20 to 50% off site wide now. You can get all your holiday gifts now, and it's going to take you out of the market for Black Friday. You won't be trampling anybody at Walmart. You won't be, using
On
a
YouTube
boss or a
videos.
weapon. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be on one of those videos. Instead, go to raycom.com. Now, what are you going to find there? Well, you're going to find 3 very diverse products. First of all, everybody knows they're everyday earbuds. You guys hear me talk about them constantly. It's amazing I have time, though, because for 32 hours of battery life, they'll give me all day and then some to listen with a perfect in-ear fit all day. But that's not all. They have a Magic 180 cable.
What is that?
Crazy. A Magic 180 cable. That's amazing.
That sounds like
Yeah, what is it? It sounds like something. It definitely
something
does.
finding your wife's dresser.
Well, it could be, and that would be okay, Tone. That's totally fine because she's just charging her other thing in the dresser that you were thinking of because it's a charger. It charges iOS, micro USB, Type-C, which is probably what your wife uses, device 8 times faster, 100-watt power delivery, which she's going to need badly. And you know what? She's going to get thirsty afterwards. You hope that the water she drinks is clean. You don't want her to drink filthy, dirty water. How about a faucet filter, everybody? The good people at Raycon have invented the perfect faucet filter. It ultra filters the water in your tap against chlorine and heavy metals. And Tony, there's a lot of heavy metal at your house. You know this.
I'm telling
To
you.
get everyone in the holiday shopping spirit a bit early, Raycon is currently offering 20% off everything on their site with select products up to 50% off. So beat the crowds. Hurry now to buyraycon.com/THPN and tell them the Puckers sent you.
All right. Thank you, Raycon.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. Time to play a game, boys.
Love games.
Shall we play a game?
Buckle up, boys and girls. It is time for the Devil You Know on the Uncle Pucker New Jersey Devil Podcast.
That's it. It is time for the second round of season 2 of The Devil You Know, where Bobby won the first one that we played, which we don't get enough times for the 4 of us all together. So hopefully we'll start doing it and start banging these out a little bit more.
This has been a good run, Bob. You've been like king for 3 weeks now.
Bobby has
It's a
been
while
king
to
for
get-
And
3 weeks.
I will
and-
not come out of first place this week.
No,
I think it's the first
no
time you
matter
had a
what,
lead.
you will be
Never had a lead
tied
before.
for first place, Bobby.
That's right.
Because Bobby is the clue giver today, so his job is to give us clues of any former devil, and Tony, myself, and Dan have to guess. We each get 3 incorrect answers before we are eliminated. We can ask Bobby any question that we want. He can or cannot answer it. It is completely up to him. The only criteria is that this person had to have played for the Devils. So, Bobby, whenever you're ready, brother.
I am ready. This former Devil was undrafted, and he has 12 total seasons in the NHL. He's played for 5 different teams. That's 473 games. And in those games, he scored 41 goals and 52 assists. So that's 93 points. And he's a career minus 21.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is he still playing?
He is not.
Okay.
He has 6 years of playoff appearances. In those 6 years, 46 games, 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points, and he was an even rating.
Okay.
Throughout his 12 years, his average per season was 39 games played. But the most he's ever played in 1 year was actually 65, and that was with our Devils.
Okay.
This former Devil is a Stanley Cup champion.
Not with us, though, the way
He
you're making
earned
it sound.
that getting his name on the cup by playing in just 4 playoff games.
Was it with the Devils?
The Stanley Cup was
Yeah.
not with the Devils.
Okay.
His best statistical year was actually in his 9th season. In 44 games, he had 6 goals and 9 assists for 15 points and a -2, and that was with the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
He is an American-born player.
Is he a defenseman?
He is not a defenseman.
He's a forward. Okay.
In the AHL, he actually had a 36-point season with 16 goals and 20 assists. In fact, the year before his NHL debut, he scored 16 goals and 20 assists for 36 points in the AHL.
Did you mention any penalty minutes yet? And would you like to?
I don't know if I have that down yet.
Okay.
If not, I can use that later because I still have it up.
Can you tell us who he's played for?
I will reserve that for a little bit later.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this is a left-handed shooter. He's a bigger guy, over 6 foot, over 200 pounds. Listed as a center. I would say primarily a center.
Okay.
He was born in White Beaver Lake, Minnesota.
White Beaver Lake. That's a funny name.
So
Okay.
let's see. I'll tell you first that he finished his career with the Wild.
Okay.
And this was in the 2015-16 season.
Okay.
He played for the Devils, the Hurricanes, the Ducks, the Panthers, and the Wild.
Panthers. Okay.
Panthers, Ducks.
All right, now we're going to start getting some ones that might bring some bells.
Was that
Okay.
in order? Was that in order?
Good question, Dan. That was not in order.
Okay.
All
I will
right.
not give you the order. You know the last team.
Yeah.
His first and second career goals were against Martin Brodeur.
It's over 6 foot center.
American center.
Wild Ducks.
Yeah, I got nothing right now.
Okay. This is one of these freaky ones that one of you guys might have remembered.
I
He's-
hate these ones.
Known for bizarrely having his arm go through the photographer's hole in February of 2008 during
I
a
kind
game.
of remember that, but who was it?
That was that was when he was with the Devils?
He was not with the Devils at this point.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I don't remember that. I was picturing a Devil game.
So in 2008, he was not with the Devils. When was he with the Devils?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
How many games did he play, he said? In
Get
total?
that right now.
Altogether?
In total, 473
Yeah.
over 12 years.
5
The
teams.
Devils picked him up off of waivers for the 2011-12 season.
I was kind of checked out
Yeah, I
back
figure
then.
as a negative point rating that he wasn't with us in the best days.
No, I
Okay.
can't think of-
2011-12 season. I got nothing.
2011-12 was not a bad season.
It was not bad, and
It was
that
a
was
Stanley
the
Cup
best
run season.
It was
Right.
their last. It was their last.
Right.
Cup run, but it was. That's his first year with us.
I
He
have
was
a
through
guess.
some lean times,
Was it
What's your
Stephen
guess?
Bernier?
It is not Stephen Bernier.
That's a good guess, though.
This
Get that penalty.
Devil
Yeah.
got 5 goals and 2 assists in the 2012 playoff run.
I think
And
Bob's going to double
was
up
a
his
pretty
points here.
integral part of that run.
Wait,
Beyond those
2012,
7
5
points.
goals.
Trying to think of who was like the bottom
On
6
that-
guys. Like Brian Giunta was drafted, right? I mean, the other Giunta.
Steven?
Both of them.
Steven
Fuck,
Giunta.
2012.
I'll guess him, Steven Giunta.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be out of this soon.
Okay.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
I haven't guessed yet, but
Either one of these two might help. He did have his nose broken in a fight with Stu Bickle of the Rangers in a brawl in 2012.
Oh,
Wow, that sounds familiar.
I believe it was the brawl. Like, I'm not 100% sure if it was like the one where they all just dropped the gloves at the face
Right.
off. I think so, because they're calling it a brawl, not just,
No,
single
it's
God
like-
damn it.
I got nothing.
No,
All right.
I feel like we're going to be like.
I'm running out of clues. His Stanley Cup win was in 2007. And we know it's not with the Devils, so put that piece together.
Damn it, I know who this. I can't think of his fucking
That
name.
was
I
the
remember his nose
Canes when they
bleeding.
won, right?
That was not the Canes.
Oh, that was the Ducks then.
Yeah, it was the Ducks.
Okay, so 2007 with the Ducks.
2007 with the Ducks, 4 games in the playoffs,
Devil's Brawl. The nose bleeding.
called up that year from the AHL.
Not Kelly.
Kelly?
R. Kelly?
No.
Kelly LeBrock.
No, I
Kelly. K-E-L-L.
He's worn 2 numbers in his career.
Cheers, right?
Yeah. Woody.
If I have this right, he started with number 18, transitioned to 20, and wore 20 with us.
Wore 20 with us.
Number 20 with
Jay
us.
Pandolf.
Jay Pandolf, exactly. He was so drafted. Such a huge
Incorrect.
college player. Definitely not him, but he is 20 and he is American, so that's close enough.
Ah, damn, I really have.
Penalty minutes. Dan, I
hell's
can
that guy's
maybe get that
name?
for you here.
I was thinking maybe he was a big fighter guy with those kind of numbers, but maybe not.
I don't have the breakdown of just the NHL. His whole professional career was actually 444. But
So
it looks
that's
like
a healthy clip.
in the NHL,
Oh my
it was
God.
22, 80. He had an 84
Who
penalty
the hell
minutes
was
in
on that
2011
team?
12.
So
with the
let's
Devils.
think about this, guys. Okay, the Brawl. Remember the Brawl, right? It was
Yeah.
Cam Jansen, I got to remember who this guy was in the corner with the nose bleeding.
It was
'cause I know exactly
Ryan
who-
Carter.
Ryan Carter.
Ryan Carter.
Ryan Carter.
Ryan Carter.
Wow,
Yep.
great
Ding,
job,
ding, ding.
guys. Great job.
Ryan Carter.
I think
Yay, me.
you should give Tony a tiny piece of that point. You guys were brainstorming there. I was very proud of both of you. But Chris,
And I was
Nelson,
out of
figure
clues.
out
So
that
good
He
job.
does not
man.
get a point.
give a
I
fraction.
get the point.
Give a 1/100th of your point.
Gets 0. So that means that me and Bobby are the only two on the board. That was fun.
It's a lot more fun when I don't have to explain.
I
the
led
15
Chris
clues
right
I
in
didn't
front of
get
the
to.
net on that one, Chris. I
Yeah,
served you the
you-
puck.
you
right.
get the assist.
It's funny because remember I was texting earlier about the list. I feel like we did this guy.
No, we definitely
But
didn't do
then
Ryan
as
Carter.
I was doing the stats, I'm like, no, we did not do Ryan.
About the same thing about Kyle Quincy. I was like, did we do this guy?
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tony didn't get it undrafted. Ryan Carter.
There's a few
I guess-
undrafted there.
Yeah, I didn't know he was undrafted. I had no idea. But so I guess we should finish up on some hopefully
do you wanna do some news?
lighthearted news. That's what I was
Never-
going to say.
It's never
So-
lighthearted.
Coming to you live from the Uncle Pucker's news desk in a basement somewhere in Lithuania. Sports, politics, current events, and entertainment. It's the news of the day with Tony A.
All right, Mr. Tony.
Okay, we'll start out with some hockey. Okay, so Milan Lucic will be taking a leave of absence from the Bruins after he was arrested early Saturday morning following an alleged domestic dispute. Lucic had been out since October 21st, actually, with a ankle injury. So, he was averaging before the ankle injury, he was about 12 minutes a night. But
Probably from kicking a spouse or something.
I saw that today.
what's
that
love
he,
got to do with it?
I saw today that he was, he got arrested for pulling his best Ike Turner impression, apparently.
Tony, he's not the only hockey player arrested this week, is he? Did you have that story?
No, I don't have the other one.
Well,
but I have something that's related to that next, actually.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to get to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The Nottingham Panthers hockey team retired Adam Johnson's number 47 jersey. Obviously, he was killed by the skate blade. All the players for the team wore the neck guards during the game. They did a special celebration during the goals, songs and stuff like that. But Dan is right. They arrested. So what was it? Involuntary manslaughter.
Involuntary manslaughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what the charge was. Now, what I was unclear about, because I did not see an actual news story and read it start to finish. I saw a blurb on it. Who exactly arrested him? Was this the police in England? Where was the game played?
It was in England.
It was in England. But I had heard
So-
this is kind of what procedure in the situation. They have to do something like this when someone dies like this. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen to this guy. But
I mean, do you guys think that this, it's maybe just too stupid of a hot take thing to ask you, but do you think this is warranted that he be charged with anything close to murder, like even manslaughter? I mean, I'm not asking us to play lawyer here. I don't really pretend to be a law expert, but does this seem right to you guys?
Well, I have to say I didn't see the clip. I still haven't watched it. So
I
I know
will watch
you
it, yeah.
you
I did. And
described
if you
it,
watch it the
and-
way I watched it, it was not gory at all. You could just see the play and you
Right.
just see him hit, but you see nothing else. And that I was thankful for. So I hope
kind
that's
of
the only
explained it
version of this out.
As in, it was there wasn't a reason why his leg would have been spinning up there, because we all thought he got stepped on, and you said no, it was actually more of the foot came up and he was sitting.
It was a
He's just
distinct
reaching-
kicking motion.
distinct kicking motion, which is definitely a penalty.
Honestly, I would say clearly he was not trying to kick or injure, but he was trying to impede him with his whole leg.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
There's a
what I had
difference.
heard. Yeah.
Right.
Because he
Gotcha.
was hit and he was kind of in the air, he stuck his leg out in a last ditch, no kind of reaching to prevent the player from getting by him. It was a awful move to make, and it was definitely a penalty by Eddie. It'd be very clear. And I think a guy like that shouldn't be in the game, because you need to have trained into you the reflexes. I will not put my skate blades up, because
Right.
that's, you know what I mean?
Reckless.
Unless you're getting hit and go, head over heels unintentionally in a hit scenario, if you have any say in your skate kicking up, we cannot have you in the game doing that. So don't get me wrong. This is beyond wrong kind of play. But then there's the whole question of does this involve the legal system? I mean, if he takes out a gun and shoots a guy on the ice, I think we clearly believe the police have a say here. So obviously there's a place for them in the game to some extent. But was this basically it puts the game on trial is what I'm saying. Like, do you think there's a room for it to be a play that, although the rules are against it, it is still kind of a possibility in the game, which should not involve a legal system,
I think if it's anything that doesn't result in death, no. But because this resulted in death, I do think there has to be at least the due diligence of the law to step in and see what the hell's going on. And I don't know if this guy has any kind of reputation or anything like that. I did hear Jeremy Roenick on a podcast say this dude absolutely went after this dude. Like he said, you said ass over head and kind of kicked up to and hit him. So I mean, he was kind of in agreement. Again, I can't really make it. I mean, do I think that
that's just dirty? It's super dangerous play.
Yeah,
definitely. I totally agree. I just wonder how premeditated and intentional
well, that's the
it is
thing.
to injure.
How do you prove intent on that?
Yeah,
as opposed to
it's unintentional.
Right.
Maybe that's the right call here. I don't know.
What do you guys think about the neck protectors? Do you think everyone should wear them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
Too.
We're going out and getting my kid one this week before he plays again. Like it only takes one instance for you to realize how simple it is.
I always had two things kind of cover my neck playing goal, but neither one is as thorough as those neck protectors. So it was something I worried about. I think 2 of the 4 players who got this were goalies. It was kind of always on my mind. You are, when you're down on your knees trying to get the puck, you are really close to people's skates all the time. I never felt entirely satisfied, with the neck protection. And some guys would wear way less than me. I knew some guys weren't wearing danglers or having an extra bib underneath their chest protector. So yeah, a lot of throat exposed. I was actually more worried about catching a puck.
Sure.
Throat, to be honest with you, but as far as likelihood. But the skate thing, man, I think for youth leagues, it's got to be mandatory. When you think about it, we make these kids wear cages up through college, and we're not protecting throats. That's kind of what are you thinking? A puck to the face is going to be awful. A skate to the throat is I don't know what the percentage of cuts versus serious injury or almost death or concluding death, but it's way too high.
And
so
I mean, I think
it doesn't happen, but when it happens, it's really dangerous.
And I think the NHL will change that rule within the next year or two. They'll grandfather it in, so any new players coming in are going to have to wear the neck protector. So
I don't know.
in 20 years, everybody in the league will be wearing it. So
I think you would find a lot of players, they don't want to talk about this right now, so you're not going to hear it right now. But I don't think they want to wear it. I think, especially if you've ever played without it. I mean,
well, that's why they'll grandfather it in. So
Yeah.
it'll be all the kids that are already wearing it, the ones that are coming on. So the guys that are in the league now, like they did, like Craig McTavish, exactly.
The last guy without
the last dude without
They
a
can push
helmet.
this right down to USA Hockey. They can make it mandatory for my 9-year-old to
Oh,
wear
yeah.
it. He's signed up to
actually-
USA Hockey. Like everything he does now
I
is
would
in
be
the stat
shocked
books.
if they don't. I would be
We're
shocked
so
if next year that's
Yeah,
not
they
there
should.
for your kid.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they definitely should. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement on that.
Low-hanging
You know what?
fruit for the youth leagues.
Nobody wants to go to a hockey game and see somebody severely injured. It's just if there's a way to eliminate that risk, then you have to fucking do it. It's stupid not to.
Yeah, well,
It's
you're not going to
negligent
eliminate
not to.
skates, so you're going to have those throat protections.
From now
right?
on, the NHL will only be played with rollerblades, so
Or
nobody
you have to
ever
keep
has
your
to
skate
worry
guards
about
on.
this
Bubbles.
again.
Your rubber skate
Bubble
guards
suits.
on.
Yes,
Hockey
you can
bubble
keep your
suits.
skate guards on.
Yeah, and we're just all pedaling out there, not moving anywhere.
More news?
Yes,
More
we got
news.
4 more stories, boys.
Where's the
Four
Florida
stories.
story?
Let's
Buckle
go.
in.
Let's
U.S.
go.
plumbers are bracing for Brown Friday. The day after Thanksgiving, plumbing companies are warning U.S. residents that the day after Thanksgiving is the busiest time of the year for plumbers. Roto-Rooter has reported that Brown Friday marks the busiest and shittiest day of the year, averaging 50% more calls for service than any average Friday. Thanksgiving weekend overall averages about 21% more calls for service than any average weekend.
This makes total sense to me. We all got that aunt or family member that makes that turkey dry as shit. Right? You gotta show. Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
I guess there's a lot
It's
of shit
educational,
going on
though, right? I mean,
Thanksgiving.
that's-
I had no
that's your
idea there was
stats.
something
If
called
you eat
Brown
more, you shit more.
Friday.
You learn something every day
Biological
here
truth.
on the Uncle Pucker Show.
I mean, I think this story was definitely planted by some kind of plumbers association.
There's a phone
And
number
I
with
think
it.
the level of desperation they must have in order to get this out there in the Thanksgiving season.
They
You
actually
think that's
paid
something
me.
that, like, they talk about during their Thanksgiving dinner? You know, like, tomorrow's going to be crazy. All those clogged toilets, all that shit, and
Right.
just the woe is me about being a plumber on Brown
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday. It's just got to
Yeah,
be
you're
terrible. How do
sitting
they
there at
even
the
enjoy
table.
Thanksgiving knowing that the next
No,
day will
they're all
be...
complaining who can one up each other, who's got to work tomorrow. I got to do the Black Friday sales. This is Aunt Jenny. She's working in the mall. She can't stand spraying perfume in everybody's face as they walk by. She's so tired of it in this holiday season. But then, your Uncle Bob the plumber.
Someone says
Bob,
to you at the table, "Hey, Bob the plumber, you want some brown gravy with that?" And they're just like,
Exactly.
"Fucking no, man, back off."
Do you have any idea what my life is like?
he stops begging people like just enough. It's just enough eating for one day. I can't watch you guys eat this much because I
No
know
dessert.
what the daylight
Move
is gonna
that.
be.
I think it's
Tomorrow.
probably mostly the desserts. I think
Speaking
Or
of
he's just
eating-
fucking really happy because he's making a ton of money.
that's it. I'd be happy.
Roto Rooter. Speaking of eating, a Riverside restaurant out of Georgia is charging families now a $50 charge for bad children fees to be added onto their dinner bill. The idea came up during the pandemic, but actually was just enforced recently. A diner was recently pissed off after the owner came out to the table and told the parents that they would be charged $50 because of their child's unruly behavior. I know I have two little kids, and I got to say, like, I keep my kids, like, I know I wasn't allowed to run around a restaurant and throw shit around all over the place, and I see a lot of it. I know, Chris, you probably see a lot of it. Like, it's
I
crazy.
don't actually. Not that I would say that somebody should get a $50 surcharge if your kid acts like an asshole.
Unenforceable too. Like, what do you like? Who's going to pay this? Like,
Yeah.
did you have to sign a contract when you walked in there?
I
Because
don't think.
nobody was going to pay.
What's
that
this
stuff, right?
$50 bill on $50 charge on
Your
my
kid's
bill?
an asshole.
I only that's your kid is an asshole charge.
Right.
You get free refills, but you get what did my kid do? Well, they threw the salt on the floor and they screamed and yelled and they didn't like
And
the
he's
chicken.
currently humping my leg like
And
a
who
dog. Look down.
determines whether or not your kid's an asshole?
Yeah.
I mean,
Only
I
can
get
determine if my kid's an asshole.
right, and I mean, we all see it absolutely. Like there are
we've seen
kids that go out in public that you just say, like, that's my kid. I will crack that fucking kid across the head. Like we all know those kids,
Yeah.
But I to throw a $50 surcharge on, that's just kind
This
of
is where,
random and
Georgia?
weird. Yeah,
Georgia, yeah.
Yeah,
surprised
stay
it's
away
not
from
Florida.
We got two more left, boys.
Where's the Florida story?
We don't have a Florida one. But
No?
we have a pregnant
Aw.
tourist was seriously injured when she was hit by an 85-pound Rottweiler falling from a window in Rome.
Rome, Florida?
First the tennis ball fell, and then the 85-pound Rottweiler came down after it.
Ludovico Caprino,
Good
27 of Switzerland, was on vacation in the Italian capital last week when she was hit by an 8-month-old
Like
plummeting
a fallen
pup.
Rottweiler sign outside
Named
their
Cody.
fucking-
All the ways to go.
Yes, went strolling through the
Ruh-roh.
upscale neighborhood. The woman is in a nearby hospital with serious injuries. The dog died, but the baby was not injured at all, though.
The
You know,
dog
so-
died?
Was
Yes.
it maybe followed by a cat falling from the sky?
Then they found out Michael Vick was the owner of the apartment upstairs. But
So how'd the dog fall out of the window?
chasing a cat, they think.
So the cat came first.
It was
Chasing a
raining
cat.
cats and dogs. I always thought Europeans said it backwards, but okay.
I remember we used to in my old house, and we had this long hallway going to the basement, and I wasn't living at home. My parents had a dog. I don't know if they were watching this dog, whatever, but it was this little pit, and it was fucking crazy. I think they only had this dog for like a month, right? And I went over there one day. Nobody was home, and this dog like tore everything up in the house. He was running around like fucking crazy, and I was going into the basement. And I opened up the basement door, and this dog was running full bore down the hallway. And I didn't even get the light on. And it's just all I hear is boom, 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 boom. The fucking dog flies right down the stairs. I put the light on, and he's just looking up at me. I thought the thing broke its neck. He just ran full bore, didn't know where he was going, right down. So I could see a dumb Rottweiler following a cat out a window.
Yeah, they're not the brightest.
Yeah, I mean, and the next story, I actually want you guys' opinion after this one. A South Carolina private Christian school teacher, a mother of two, was arrested Wednesday for having sex with a teenage football player in the parking lot of Pizza Hut.
That's classy.
I have to say, so I've seen a photo of this woman.
I know. I don't like.
I don't know
Pizza
where they
Hut. You
got
ask my
these.
opinion. I'm not a big fan of Pizza
So-
Hut.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you remember when Pizza Hut used to be good back in the 80s?
No.
The 27-year-old teacher is facing counts of battery with a 17-year-old athlete. And the parents have said that she ruined their son's life. Now, I saw a picture of this teacher.
I don't think that's true.
And I don't believe this. And, I have to say, like, I know it's awful, but, like, I remember the Deborah LaFaves and these teachers. We didn't have some of these teachers now that are going after these kids. I hate to say, I mean, do you think a 17-year-old guy is going to be damaged for life, Bobby, from this?
I don't think the 17-year-old guy is, but it's wrong.
It's fucked up.
It is totally wrong. If he's...
Is it wrong if I write the teacher jail mail now?
Yeah, that's a tough... yeah, that's rough.
Chris, are you looking up the teacher?
Yeah, I want to see her.
You got to see her, yeah.
She would be interested in you, Tony.
Yeah,
She's
right.
after a certain demographic.
But in our day, like there was teachers I know that did this back when we were in high school, but it just seems like much more aggressive now. Maybe it's the social media that you can like contact each other.
I think this was always
going on. I think Chris has the picture up. I see Chris smiling over there.
She's cute. She's definitely cute. And it says here she was arrested Wednesday for pursuing a teenage student into pressuring a teenage student into having sex and sending him naked pictures. Reagan Anderson, 27, is facing 2 counts of sexual battery with a child 17 years of age. A trusted coach, quote, a trusted coach, teacher, and friend that abused our trust and violated her oath as an educator. She has ruined our son's life, said the victim's mother. He should be 100% focused on being a fun-loving, football-playing young man, but this predator has robbed him of that ability. No young quarterback or athlete is safe in our community if this woman is free. This is what the parents are saying.
Students and
I thought he was going to complain that usually it's the football team who get to be the predators and not the prey.
Right.
He was a little bit upset about that, but no, he went a different direction. This poor boy's life is ruined.
How can he ever play quarterback again?
If there's a lawsuit to be had, maybe that's what that is. Is that actually? Is that actually this upset? What kind of man is this? Are you seriously that?
This is even better. She's married and has 2 kids.
Yeah.
A third on the way. Who knows?
Well, that was like that. Deborah LaFave was like doing it with kids in front of their friends in the vehicle. I mean, it's just these people are just crazy now.
That's insanity.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so on her LinkedIn page, the alleged pervert described herself as very passionate about children.
Yes,
I'm currently a stay-at-home mom looking for some at-home opportunities to help support my family and I, her biography states. And then a judge ordered a bond at $2,500, and she has to wear a GPS, and she is no longer allowed to hang out in front of Pizza Hut.
I think that father's just jealous.
Did you make up that last part? Yes, I did. From now on,
how many friend requests do you think she got from the students at school?
How many what?
How many friend requests have she gotten on Facebook now since?
Oh my God! The last thing that this kid's life is ruined. That's the last thing.
So many kids that turned 18 are like.
I understand why you did it. I love Pizza Hut.
Kids will not be on Facebook though. The kids
meet you at the Taco Bell.
Is that at a date now, Dan, for kids?
For young kids,
Hut, like Facebook is okay.
Yeah, they don't do Facebook.
No, they got MySpace now. That's where all the kids hang out. They all hang out on MySpace.
So I'm gonna post a music video there.
There you go.
As soon as they dial up to the internet, they go right to the MySpace. The kids.
All right, so off of that was good news, Tony. Very excellent job.
Uplifting, right? And
yes, very good job. Thank you.
Warm my heart.
Thank you. So I guess we're going to wrap it up. I'm glad that we didn't talk a whole lot about hockey tonight, just because of the simple fact that tonight's game was so disappointing.
We had a lot of fun stuff.
It was fun. So, guys, wherever you're listening to us, please give us a positive review, 5-star rating, a like. Goes a very long way to help us promote the show. Check out the YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe, like, all that other fun stuff. And we'll be back. I don't know what the week's going to look like with the holiday and shit. So, we're going to get at least 2 shows in. Well,
I think we're doing a Thanksgiving show, right?
I'm down to do a Thanksgiving show. I have no problem with that. Live from the turkey table.
Transit.
It's our Brown Friday preview show. That's what we're gonna do.
Get ready.
Yeah, I like that. So, but so we're trying to get 3 shows out next week if possible. But if not, we'll definitely be on early in the week, and we'll go over a little preview of the Red Wing game, and maybe we'll have a little bit more insight into this game once we have a few days for it to digest, and actually we can figure out exactly what we saw in those last 4 minutes of this game, because that was.
And Chris, who do you guys have tomorrow? You guys have Denver.
We have Denver tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football. So Josh Dobbs heading out to the Mile High City. We'll see what the boy does. They're the biggest longest winning streak in the NFL right now. I would love. I'm just going to put an open invitation out to Eric Holla because I want to have Eric Holla on this show, and I just want to talk Minnesota Viking football. We will not talk any Devils. We won't talk anything about
Is that
your
right?
hockey.
Holla's a big
Viking fan.
Well,
so
that's great.
I'm going to get Holla on, and we're just going to talk for an hour about the Vikings. So Eric
like a good
Holla,
book.
You've had like a. We were just talking about this, me and you. Your team went from like 2 weeks ago being pretty much. You thought it was dead. Remember, we all thought.
well,
like,
about 5 weeks ago, we were
and
we were on a
Dobbs
5-game
came.
winning streak. Well, I mean, even before that, I mean, really from the Monday night game when we beat San Francisco, that's kind of what turned it around. That game, the team, they had no business winning. Kirk Cousins just balled out, and they won. And they have not lost since Justin Jefferson's been injured. And hopefully he comes back tomorrow. If not, it looks like the week after, which was a Monday night game against Chicago. But this is actually for Dan and Bobby. I'm gonna give you guys. This is a task for you. So in 3 weeks, I think it's December 3rd, December 10th. I don't know. The Vikings are playing the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. You two have to come up with a bet for me and Tony for the loser. So leave it to you two. Okay. Something that either we have to do on the show or
loser
whatever.
shaves heads, but there's two reasons why the loser shaves heads would not work.
Yeah, it would not happen.
I'm down with that. I will sign up for the loser shaves head today.
Understand that I'm okay
Chris
with this,
will
but
Why
Dan
won't you?
does not typically prepare, so we're probably going to make it up on air whenever we call.
Way to do it.
Which
like
is
that
fine.
week. Yeah.
So we'll give you guys a week's notice before the game, and then so
We'll
Tony
still
and I
do it
are,
the day that you tell us to do it.
Yeah, and then Tony and I will
At most.
do the bet, and the
We might even be
loser,
late for that.
loser will have to shave his head.
Yeah,
No
Tony,
headshake.
do you agree? This sounds fair.
No, there's no head
Do you want me to stand in for you, Tony?
How
on the
about-
shave
Yes,
head?
Bobby will be
How
my
about the
stunt double.
loser
Oh,
has
boy.
to get the other team's logo tattooed on him?
That's definitely because I'm going
Wow.
to lose this
Brutal.
game most likely. This is why.
I
I don't know that I can do that to either one of you.
Guys, this is huge. I think you have to do that.
How about the
Anything
guy
else
gets
now?
the next guy's next 2 points from the
Wait, how about the mascot?
Nobody cares
the
about
devil
the
you
logo?
know?
No, I need some kind of permanent.
No, it's
body
got to be something
alteration.
more.
Be
Yeah,
nothing
something
permanent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Remember,
something
Chris is the
permanent.
favorite here. And do I get
Tattoo
points,
on the
Chris, on
forehead.
this? Do I get
On
points?
what?
Like, say Vikings are
No, it's a
Vikings
straight
are
up win
favorite.
or loss.
Oh, yeah,
Straight
I'm not going to
win or
give you
loss.
points.
Come on, man.
Come
You gotta do
on.
it. You gotta do
I got to
it
call
for your Raiders,
DraftKings,
dude.
man, and see what the fuck.
You got to represent. Tony, you're like Mr. I'm all heart with sports. I live
You
and die
know
with
that,
my
man.
team.
You know that.
That's right.
yeah.
You follow your team,
But I'm not
even here
shaving
on
my
the
head.
other side of the world. You get
Yes, I
up
do.
and watch Devil games at 2 a.m. Like you're insane. So
I
you
followed
won't
the Raiders
put up
and watched them
a
lose in many
tattoo
cities.
on your Raiders. You got to put up a tattoo on your Raiders. I think that's fair.
There's no
I
Vikings tattoo
think
going.
I think a nice big fat Minnesota Viking tattoo on your back would be awesome. Yeah,
It would be funny if Chris has a Raider emblem on his shoulder blade in a couple weeks.
If I lost a bet and you were going to pay for the tattoo, I'd go get it.
Chris can
Absolutely.
just say,
Hey, man,
this
you
is
won
when I was
$300
homecoming king.
Right. It's my favorite.
I was
my
just
high
so
school
proud.
name. That's it. Yeah.
We'll call
But-
it something.
Yeah, but guys, again, thank you so much for checking us out. It was a lot of fun tonight. Please, again, drop us a line like Garrett and Hunter, preferably one that's legible and something we can make sense of.
I like the illegible ones just as much.
Yes, we do, Hunter. We're just busting your balls, dude. And for Tony, Dan, Bobby, I'm Chris. We're the Uncle Puckers. We'll see you when we see you.
Peace out.
Yeah. Pizza Hut.
And bye-bye.
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 My wife.
Bye-bye. Exactly. That guy was awesome.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.